Hey everybody, it's Greg and Logan. This is Logan's first yoga lesson with me. Now we work a lot of mobility drills, so a lot of the stuff that I'll show him will probably be somewhat familiar to him, but these will be some basic yoga poses. This is really my wake up in the morning routine. So this is not a difficult routine, it's something you can work really slow. I mean, we're talking right out of bed kind of routine. So the first is a simple cat-cow movement. So the cat-cow movement starts with the feet hip-width apart, knees hip-width apart. You can see how my thighs are vertical, how my shoulders are directly over my wrists. On the inhale, I always start with the mid-body first. It's going to be melting down, so I'm creating more curve in the low back. Then I'm melting in the chest and the shoulders, so you allow the shoulders to insert more deeply into the sockets. That's your inhale, and then you can slowly lift the chin up. Now the exhale is the opposite. You'll start from the mid-body. You're going to pull that up first, rounding the back, moving to the middle and the upper back, really pressing down through the floor, allowing the shoulders to protract, so the shoulder blades are moving apart, and the chin will tuck to the chest. And you just repeat. The inhale always starts from the mid-body. Melt, 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 melt. And lastly, little lift of the chin. So don't straighten your neck trying to lift it up. It's just a comfortable lift. Exhale. Mid-body starts. Pull it up, pull it up. Middle of the back, upper back. Chin to chest is last. Why don't you come here in the middle, Logan, and I'll watch. So these are the things to kind of be sensitive about in this position. So you're on the all fours position, and you take your inhale nice and slow. You start from the mid-body. You melt, melt, keep moving it up the back, up the back, up the back, up the back, and then lastly, just a little lift of the chin. And I can't emphasize enough, just a comfortable lift. Do not strain yourself here. Then on the exhale, you start here. You start to lift up here, moving to the middle of the back, lifting, 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 until, I mean, as round as you can get. More, 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 more. Fill this up, fill this up, fill this up. That's the end of your exhale. And then you just repeat. So, thanks. It's good. All right, so I'll do 10 breaths. All right, I mean 10 slow, easy breaths. Remember, this is the first pose you're doing. Do not push the limits of your flexibility. Just go easy. It's really just getting blood circulating, getting some mobility in the spine. All right? Next is going to be just a simple forward fold. So you can have your feet hip width, shoulder width, really whatever you're comfortable, and I encourage you to bend your knees. So come in here closer, Logan. Yeah. And then bend your knees and put your ribs on your thighs. Put just your fingertips on the floor and relax your head down. Now, if you can keep your ribs on your thighs, you can start to straighten the legs a little bit more, a little bit more. If you feel the ribs lift away from the thighs, then you straighten the legs too much. Remember, this is your first forward fold. Take it easy. This is as much about the low back and the hips as it is about the hamstrings. 10 easy breaths. Good. Come on now. All right, so cat-cow, 10 easy breaths. Easy forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. You can have your feet really as wide as you need to kind of connect the ribs to the thighs. All right, next is some shoulder openings. So, we'll get to the props on the second round. All right, so first shoulder opening is going to be really just, this is going to be a basic child's pose. So a basic child's pose is going to be thighs together. So like no space. You're going to walk the hands out as far as you can. Relax your head down. Don't worry if your head doesn't touch the floor. So you want your hips to remain on your heels. You want your head to be relaxed toward the floor. Again, it doesn't have to touch the floor. With every inhale, I want you to think, lift up in the shoulders and engage the upper back. Crawl your fingertips out farther. That's your inhale. Then the exhale, stay more grounded through the hips and stay more melting down, chest to the thighs. Then you just repeat the cycle again. Inhale, shoulders lift, engage, crawl the hands forward. Exhale, you just think melt. Melt the back, melt the hips down. And you'll take 10 easy breaths, just trying to create more length and lift on the inhale, and then more melting of the chest toward the thighs, the hips toward the heels. Good. Then you'll work to, I don't want to say advanced, but it's a different variation on child's pose where the knees are wide. So this time you want the knees wide enough that your torso can move down between the thighs. And you'll do the same thing. Walk the hands forward, relax the head down on the inhale, engage the shoulders, crawl the fingertips out. You can even lift the head, move it forward too, and then exhale, think chest down, hips down. And you can see as it's easy to touch the forehead to the floor, eventually you can just lift up and put your chin on the floor. Logan's pretty open here, so go ahead and lift up and like you're looking toward your fingertips. Yeah. Inhale, engage shoulders, crawling the fingers out, exhale. Yeah, it's better than me. It's awesome. Chest toward the floor, hips down. 10 breaths. Good. Come on up. So, 4 exercises so far. Cat-cow, forward fold, basic, advanced, child's pose. Now we'll work a more advanced shoulder opening. So this, and I have a roller here at home. Actually, I use like a folding chair, like the seat of a folding chair. So it can be something even higher than this. Is actually even a better stretch. But this will work. The reason I have the down, I use a block, a yoga block. It's to keep my arms shoulder width apart and to keep the external rotation of the shoulders. Makes it a more strict fold and opening of the shoulders. So this is what I'll do here is a palm up grip on the down, and my wrists and elbows are all in line with my shoulders. I'm going to take not a child's pose position, but more of a half dog position. So my thighs are vertical, and you can kind of play with the distance here. Tips of my elbows are kind of just over the foam roller. And then here, it's not about melting the low back. Remember, I'm going to open the shoulders. So I'm actually trying to pull up in the mid-body, flatten the low back, and think more chest down without melting so much in the lumbar. So it's inhale, I'm lifting the shoulders up, exhale, head down, chest down, but not collapsing so much here. Every inhale, I'll kind of pull that up and try to melt with the rest of the upper back. Inhale, pull up in the mid-body, exhale, open the shoulders. I'm actually running out of space here because this is very high. Good. I'll give it a try. So your hips will be directly over the knees. You're going to hold the down palm up with your wrists and elbows in line. Here. Yep. Go ahead and just rest the tips of the elbows over the dowel. Yep. We're going to move everything forward a little bit more. So walk your elbows back just a little bit. I'm just trying to get your hips more forward over the knees. Yeah. So bring your elbows in closer. So not your hands. And this is the tricky part is your hands will want to do this. That rotates you the opposite way. You keep the wrists and elbows in line with the shoulders. That keeps the external rotation. So the inhale, engage here. Pull up here, like you're trying to flatten this. Don't melt this so much. And make the melt happen here in the middle of the back. Now you can, I'm going to bring everything forward a little bit and let the tips of your elbows move back so your head can be off. So your head can be moving toward the floor. Yeah, just like that. So inhale, engage here. Pull up here, like fill this up a little bit. There you go. And make the melt happen just here on the exhale. So this is a strict fold. You'll feel in the triceps and the lats, which contribute to a lot of your shoulder tightness. But this is one you can't do enough of them. Good. Come on up. So that's an advanced half dog. All right. Lower body. Simple lunge. So a simple lunge is going to have the back knee on the floor. When I take a simple lunge, I'm going to allow the front knee to come out over the front toes. I want to come as deep as I can, like I'm trying to connect the hamstring and the calf together. This should be a stretch in the groin of the front leg, the groin on the back leg, certainly the hip flexors and the front of the thigh on the back leg. You can see how just my foot is flat here. Every inhale, see how I use the arms now? I lift the shoulders up and I sit up straighter. Exhale, take a deeper lunge. If I get to the point where I'm kind of fully connected here, then I'll walk the foot out a little bit more. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, deepen into the lunge. Good. Try a little bit. Right leg forward. Go ahead and put your right hand here. Put your left hand at your waist. Good. So walk your foot back a little bit. So remember, this lunge is a little different in that at first, yeah, you're going to let this knee come out over. You're going to let the hamstring and the calf connect. Now every inhale, push with this hand, sit up taller. Then exhale, let your lunge get deeper. Push down firmly through the back of the foot too. So the stretches, remember, on the front of the back thigh, so you can put the top of the foot down and just press. Inhale, up straighter. Exhale, deep lunge. So do 10 breaths on the right and switch legs. And then the same thing, 10 breaths on the left. Now, simple thing like this, yeah, if my hand is turned in, so is my shoulder. So turn your hand out, so when your shoulder comes up and back, so it can rotate outward. Sit up tall, deeper lunge on the exhale. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, deeper lunge. Good. 10 breaths right, 10 breaths left. All right? Next, pigeon pose. All right, a couple variations on pigeon pose. So I'm bringing the front heel in line with the opposite hip here. So first option is just a reclined pigeon pose. So once I'm in this position, walk the hands out, and I'm doing kind of the same thing that I've been doing on all the previous poses. Is the inhale is the lengthening component, and the exhale is to go deeper. So on the inhale, I'll lift the shoulders up, crawl the hands out. I do the same thing with the back leg. I'll tuck the toes, lift the knee, crawl them out, and then exhale, melt. Think chest toward the front leg, even toward the floor. Kind of see from the side. So front heel in line with the opposite hip. On the inhale, see I come up, shoulders up, knee up, crawling everything out, and then exhale, plant, sink deeper. Okay, and I'll spend 10 breaths there. Now if reclined pose is easy, you can come to a more upright position. You can see how I turn the fingers out so I can turn the shoulders out. And I'll do the same thing. I'll inhale, I'm going to sit up taller. I'm going to crawl the back toes back, extend through the back leg. On the exhale, you can press down, sit more flush to the floor with the hips. Try. All right, so bring the right leg forward, so right knee out in front. Tuck it all the way into the opposite hip. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and just plant your hands to start. Tuck your back toes under, walk that foot back a little bit. Yeah. Now, do the recline version. Walk your hands all the way out. So, remember, inhale is the lengthening component. You're going to lift the shoulders up. You're going to crawl your hands out farther. You're going to crawl your toes back. Crawl your toes back. Yep. And then exhale, flatten the foot. All the way flat. Yep. Flatten the chest. Yeah. Big exhale. And if you want to go more, it'll be inhale. I'll see if I can crawl my hands out farther. I'll retuck the toes under. I'll see if I can extend. So it's like if I hit my max, just stay in the relaxed pose. Flat foot, flat hands. You could spend all 10 breaths there. But if you feel like you have more to move, always engage the muscles and see if you can create more length with each inhale. Good. Fantastic. Try the other side. So, inhale. Engage the shoulders, crawl the hands out farther, lift the knee up, crawl the toes back as much as you can. Exhale and melt. Now, what's easy to do on this one is lean to one side or the other. Make sure that your hips are descending equally. Obviously, you're going to feel it more in the front leg, the bent leg, but you want to make sure the hips move down easy. Good. Nice. Come on up. All right, so quick recap. Cat-cow. It's our first one. The basic forward fold. And we had simple child's pose, knees together. And we had more advanced, apart. Then we worked into the shoulder stretch. Okay? Advanced shoulder stretch, holding the down with the elbows over the roller. I would encourage you to find even a platform a little higher to give yourself room to let the chest melt. Remember, I'm not trying to melt in the lumbar. That'll stay lifted. Melt here, get your shoulders back. Then we worked basic lunge, and then pigeon pose. All right, back to the roller. Simple use of the roller. So, and I would encourage everybody to start with this, even though I would tell you to move on from it as soon as you can. The typical movement of the roller is just kind of a superficial massage. You can see my back is rounded, my shoulders are forward. This does, it feels nice. This is where I would start with, like if you feel tight in the back, yeah, just be here and roll through the muscles. Once you've done this a few times and you feel better, you need to get skeletal movement here. You want to back bend over the roller. You don't necessarily have to start there, but that's where you're going to. So when I start to do that, I start up at the shoulders. Now whether you take the arms overhead, which is a little bit more advanced, or whether you just keep the hands here at the chest, it's completely up to you. So I'll start here right at the shoulders, like it's on my deltoids. Like it's actually, you know, right on the deltoid muscle, over past the shoulders, and I'll start to lay my head back. When I work down the spine, I take my time, because there's going to be tight spots. When I find a tight spot, roll kind of back and forth nice and easy through that spot before you move on. You don't have to just go up and back and think that that's going to do it. Take your time. Be sensitive to the movement. Find the spots that it really is going to make an impact. And then just keep going all the way down the back. If I find a tight spot, I'll just kind of roll back and forth through it before I move on. And I get all the way to the lumbar. And then I'll come back through and I'll start again. So when I come back through, you can quickly come back through. This is really where you want to start from. It's right up here at the neck. So laying the head back and working through slowly all the way down the back. And I'll cycle through that 5 times. And this can take a while. Like I said, go really slow. It's not about rushing through. That's really not going to get you where you want to go. You want to get to where the back actually starts to bend backwards. Like I said, everybody kind of starts here, just massaging the muscles because their back is tight. But then you want to get some movement. All right, look. So go ahead and lay the shoulders over. Go ahead and extend the arms over. Bend your knees and plant your feet. Now, go ahead and scoot forward like 2 inches this way. So you're really starting with, I say on the shoulders, it's also kind of on the back of the neck. Start to lay your head back. Now, just slowly start to move this way over the roller. So as Logan starts to move over the roller here, he's trying to make all that extension that we did in the previous poses too. He's stretching through the lats as he's bringing this over his back. Yep, head back, yeah, nice and easy. If you get a tight spot, Logan doesn't have any tight spots. He's young and open. Yeah, all the way down to the low back. Good, and then you just come back all the way to the start. And you can come kind of quickly all the way back to the start. It's not the same action. You don't have to like stop and roll through. Start here, move the lumbar, then come right back to the beginning and start again. Do one more. So, full extension. So I'm breathing, inhale, stretching, over, head back, easy. Any tight spots, you can stop. Yep, back and forth on any tight spots all the way through the lumbar. Fantastic. Good. All right, come back through. All right, so the last thing I do on this is some handstand work. We don't really have a wall to work for this demonstration, but I can show you a couple alternatives. So handstands may not be in everyone's repertoire yet, so it really can start with just plank. So what I want to do in plank is start finding the ability to do a hollow body position. So a hollow body position is going to be protracted shoulders. So that means shoulder blades apart. They're going to be moving forward. I scoop the hips under and I keep the engagement in the mid-body. So when I do that from plank, typically that's just melted and collapsed. I want to be lifted in the shoulders. See how the pelvis scoops under and the mid-body is engaged here. So this would be my plank hold. If you're looking for something more here, you can start doing elbow taps from your plank hold, or shoulder taps from your plank hold. And then if those get easy, then I would just start doing press handstand work. So you're not doing a press handstand, you're just working the prep for press handstand. So it's the same kind of thing here. I am protracting the shoulders and rounding my upper back, just like I did in plank. And I'm moving weight into the hands and starting to come up on the tiptoes. So I put more and more weight into the hand. Whenever you're working these movements, be it plank, you've got to get used to working in a really active hand. See how my fingers are spread? The base knuckles are pressed into the floor and the ends of my fingers are gripping. So when I place the hands shoulder width apart, base of the knuckles, especially the first finger knuckle, really press down. From here, you can do this wide if you like. tiptoes, put weight into the hands, maybe eventually a little air. Try. Sure. So, spread fingers, shoulder width. Just come up into like a forward fold. Bring your hands in like just like a half inch each. This way. This way. Yeah.
Okay.
So shoulder width is always closer than you think, directly out from the shoulders.
Okay.
Go ahead and bring your feet in here. Yep. Now, grip with your hands. These press down, and the ends of your fingers grip. Start to come up on your tiptoes. Let your shoulders start moving forward to the wrist so you can make your feet even, like exactly even. There you go. Now, start to lift your little tiny toe off the floor. And then the second toe. Get to where you're only on the big toe. Yeah, so that means more and more pressure in the hands. Good. Relax. Come down. You can see how Logan's knees are bent slightly, and that's fine too. Absolutely. What I encourage you to do, like if you have to bend the knees, just bring your feet wider. The wider your feet are, the less you'll have to bend the knees. And just get used to putting more and more weight into the shoulders and hands. A lot of time you'll feel it more in the shoulders and hands at first because you haven't conditioned them right, but eventually it should be really all about the shoulders. All right, so this is my morning routine. We went through like just one round of all these. It'll take me 15 minutes, maybe 20 if I'm really going slow to do that routine. If I'm doing nice 10 breaths on each exercise, I'll do one round of that, and then usually I'll do other things to get ready for work. And then if I have time, depends on how early I get up, I might do a second round. But that's pretty much every day for me. This is my morning routine. Thanks, Lynn.